Hi, my name is Nikki. I'm the Obsessive Bookseller, and thank you for coming to watch a video. Welcome to my channel. I am filming my very first monthly wrap-up. It's getting close to the end of the year, and I started paying attention to my Goodreads stats for the year, and up to this point, I would have told you that yes, I've read fewer books than ever before, but my page count should be higher because I've been focusing on tomes. Reality check. I've not been reading more pages, I've not been reading more books, and in fact, only the last few months since I've been doing Booktube have my numbers started to creep back up to where they once have been. It's very odd for me. I went from working 50 hours a week between two jobs and going for my master's degree, so school full-time, and still managing to read 100 books a year, like physically read them. This was before I had audiobooks. And so how I got from that to someone who can barely make it through 60 books a year with audiobooks as an option, what's happening? My friends and family are very helpful to remind me that I had a baby this year, I got married this year, I started a Booktube channel this year, and just all sorts of different things have been going on. So I need to be a little more gentle with myself for not having read as many books. But really, I don't think my number has been this low since high school. But how I'm using it helpfully is as an indication that I am picking other things over reading on a consistent basis, and that is not something I would like to continue going forward. I seem to have found a reinvigoration for reading in general, and my ambitious TBR represents that, and I'm just having a lot more fun these days. I'm gonna ride that and try to participate in more challenges, get involved with more buddy reads, and just make reading an integral part of my life as it used to be. All that said, I read 7 books this month, which back when I was reading more consistently was about average. So I will be continuing Memories of Ice onto November's TBR. I had high ambitions to see as far as I could get in it in a single month, but I knew realistically it was probably going to take me 2 or 3. And as it happens, I'm only about 30% through it, so yeah, definitely going to need a little more time with this. This one is far less dense than past books, and there's not a lot of moving parts. Things are pacing-wise going quite slowly, but it's such deep character immersion that I'm still taking a ton of time to concentrate to make sure that I'm not mixing up characters, because I really feel that once I get confused, then my level of investment in this book will just like plummet. I also find myself stopping every 2 or 3 pages to look up a word. I feel like I have a pretty decent vocabulary, but this guy is like a walking thesaurus, so yeah, lots of new words, which can be fun. My favorite one yesterday was monomania. Never heard of that before. And he likes the word febrile. Anyway, I'm loving my experience with this so far, and per my goals to put reading as more of a high focus going forward, I'm hoping to finish this in November, but we shall see. Next is A Little Hatred by Joe Abercrombie, and I am about a third of the way from finishing the book. So good, I love this author. I'm having a hard time deciding how to rate it because compared to literally everything else I've ever read, he's awesome. He's like a 5-star author, one of my very favorites right now. But compared to his other stuff, this one's maybe about a 4-star, so I don't love it quite as much as a few of the other books I've read by him. But yeah, how do you rate the thing when there's so many things to take into account? I don't know what I'm going to do with myself once I get up to date with everything he has published, because I will definitely miss being in the first law world. Next, I finished Neverwinter by R.A. Salvatore. It's book 2 in the Neverwinter quartet, but book like 23 in the Legend of Drizzt saga. And as I mentioned before, I put the series down for several years and then just have finally picked it back up. And it was rough going at first. Like the first third of the novel, we didn't even spend hardly any time with Drizzt at all, and he was the main drawback to the series for me. But then things started picking up and the author dropped a bomb, and like I'm hooked again. I can't wait to see what happens next. So I'll probably be continuing on within the next month or 2, but yeah, enjoyed this one. There'll be a review out for it soon. And next I read Taltosh by Stephen Brust. It's book 4 in the Vlad Taltosh series, but book 1 chronologically, which we are reading it that way at Fantasy Buddy Reads if you want to hop aboard. So far I have mixed feelings on this particular installment. I know I've liked a couple of the other ones that I've tried a little bit more. The flashbacks were constant. It seemed like every couple of pages we'd flash back and we'd bounce so often that I started to forget what was happening when, and I became increasingly less invested in what was going on in the present day and much more interested in what happened before. So at first, the weaving back and forth really worked for me, but the longer it went, the more dissatisfied I became with it. So I think overall I'm going to give this one a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Didn't quite enjoy it, but it was close. There were a lot of good elements to it, and I know I've really liked a few of the others. At least a 4-star read. So we are continuing on with the book Dragon for the month of November. And I can't wait. We've been doing a chapter a day, and I've been really enjoying the process. Looking forward to picking it up every day. And finally, I read the first 2 books in the Dark Angel series by Carrie Arthur. It's a spin-off of her Riley Jensen series, and I have a review of the first one up already. I will link the second one when I get that one posted in a few weeks, but yeah, let's just say I am not impressed. I read the first book years ago once I was coming off of the high of the Riley Jensen series, and I was just so excited to be back in the world with the same cast of characters, even though they're kind of in the background now. And yeah, I think I gave it a nostalgia rating because I did not enjoy it on the reread. There was nothing about it that I liked on the reread. Even just evaluating it by itself without any kind of feelings for what came before, it is not a very good paranormal romance. I don't know. So I might continue the series because I have them on my shelves, but it's been reduced significantly down the priority list, and I may never get back to it. Here's the thing, like, when this author is on, for me, she is really on. Like, I love some of the things I've read from her. So I have this, like, hope inside of me that if I keep reading, I'll get to some really amazing stuff, and I'll not regret having continued past the point when I normally would have DNF'd a series, because I really loved her City of Light. We'll see. Honestly, other than the couple of books that I haven't actually finished yet, it was a pretty meh month in reading as far as ratings go. I think my highest rating, aside from the Abercrombie and the Stephen Erickson, was a 3-star, and everything else just was kind of way below that. And I feel like I've been making a good effort to picking books that I know I'm going to enjoy. But I will say, I deliberately picked books that I know were more fillers because I wanted to focus the majority of my time on Malazan. Even though book reviews don't get a lot of views generally on BookTube, it's part of my core channel identity to have them available. So every single book I read, I'm striving to also include a video review and a written one on Goodreads on my blog. So everything that I've talked about today will have a review going up at some point. My Tackling the TBR post is going up in a couple of days, and yeah, I have a whole bunch of really good books on the lineup that I can't wait to get to. And I recently sat down and kind of planned out between now and the end of the year all of the physical reads I want to get to, which include a couple of really good arcs. And that has me really excited and motivated to actually sit down and read a book again, get into the habit. I went through a really bad eye strain injury for several years, and I'm just now coming out of the worst of it. So I want to get back into the habit of physically looking at some pages. My endurance is not like 50 to 100 pages a day like it has been in the past. I have to work back up to that. But if I can get 20 to 30 pages, I think I would be happy. Thank you so much for joining me on this wrap up, and I hope to catch you next month. Bye.